Hi, this is Ivan from True Potential and welcome to another YouTube video. At True Potential we have ongoing conversations that leads to self-awareness and practical next steps that will focus and empower you to make real progress in your life and leadership. And so we're starting a new series of getting unstuck. Have you ever felt stuck and constantly focusing on what you lack instead of what you have to move you forward? You want to learn, but you don't have time. You want to start a business, but you don't have enough capital. And so on it goes every day. Today we're going to shift that perspective and talk about something truly empowering, cultivating an asset-based mindset. The core idea is this: to shift our focus from our deficits to our assets. It's about using what you have and what is available to you instead of dwelling on what you don't have. Think about it in this way. We often get caught up in a negative bias, focusing on what's missing instead of what is available to us to move us forward. This leaves us paralyzed, and it also keeps us from taking steps that will help us to grow in our lives. While some say this is about our survival instinct protecting us against dangers, I think from a biblical perspective it might have something to do with a not enough mentality, the same that we saw that overcame Eve in the Garden of Eden. While she had everything that she could ever wish for, she believed that something was lacking, that something was still needed, and that ultimately resulted in her losing everything she had. The key is to take ownership of our mindsets and intentionally choose to focus on what we do have and start cultivating those resources in our lives. I had a friend who once went into a community to do some entrepreneurial training, and while he was there, one of the ladies in the group, she said that she wanted to start a business with chickens. And so my friend asked her, what is preventing you from moving forward with your idea? And she said, well, I don't have enough capital to start my business, and so I haven't done anything with that yet. And so he asked her this: have you ever raised chickens in your life before? She said, well, no, I haven't raised any chickens. And then he asked her, what does a chicken cost? And she said, well, it works out to about this amount for one chicken. And what does the feed cost? And so he went on, and ultimately it ended up that she had enough money to start with at least one chicken. My friend encouraged her to say that at least start with that one chicken, and then you can learn and make mistakes free from losing all your capital that you would have invested. That way you can grow with your business instead of just staying paralyzed and stuck. And that is what an asset-based mindset is all about: to start thinking about, what do I have? What is available to me? What are the resources that I have that I can take at least a step that will lead me to a next step, and so on and so forth. So how do we cultivate an asset-based mindset? The first thing that we want to do is practice seeing the assets and the resources in our lives. From a Christian point of view, we believe God has given us everything we need to be productive and live fruitful lives. This means that there's always an asset that we can draw on that will help us to move forward, even in challenging times. It's like looking for your car keys. You know it's there somewhere in your house, but maybe because of haste and disorganization, it prevents you from seeing what is right there in front of you. By actively acknowledging the assets in our lives, we train our minds to start noticing what is there in front of us. It's like calming down so that you can see the keys that you've been looking for. Here's a practical exercise I want to give you to start practicing to see the assets and the resources in your life. Take a sheet of paper and divide your life into different categories like skills, relationships, your environment, your workplace, whatever category you can think of. And then what I want you to do is, and this will be a challenge, but I really want to encourage you to go for it, is write down at least 5 different resources or assets that you have in each of those categories. This is critical for you to also, as you've written them down, to verbally acknowledge that they are available to you in your life. For example, I have friends in my life that love and support me. The next step that you want to do in this exercise is think about ways that you can use or have used these assets in your life before. Thinking about the friends example that I gave earlier, is you can think about to say that I have friends in my life, and when I went through a challenging time, they supported me and loved me. You acknowledge the asset or the resource, but you also acknowledge how it's been used in your life or how you can use it in the future. The point of the exercise is for you to start noticing what is available to you and to start taking your eyes off of what is lacking and what is not available to you. Well, there you have it. Let us start to cultivate that asset-based mindset by first of all taking ownership of our mindsets, and then to practice noticing the assets in our lives by doing that exercise to think through the different categories until we come up with our lists of assets and then how it can be used in our lives. Lastly, I want to challenge you, after you finish that exercise, think about 1 or 2 assets that you can identify that you can start to cultivate and use straight away in your life to move forward. Friends, if this has been helpful to you, I really want to encourage you to like and subscribe to this channel, but also to share it with your friends so that they can also be blessed by this. Thank you. Have a good day.